Texting do's and don'ts to someone to whom you're attracted. Matt Boggs, who is the guru of love in relationships, has been working with couples for about 20 to 30 years. He knows his stuff. The 5 techniques that he is teaching us in one of his videos is very short and sweet. And that's number 1. Keep your text message to whomever you want to get to know better. Keep them short and sweet. If someone is sending you a text or you're sending someone to whom you're attracted and want to plan something or get to know them better, don't make it a long, lengthy text, 2 or 3 sentences. Secondly, Matt points out that don't make someone scroll. If you're writing a text in order to invite somebody or get their interest in doing something with you, 2 or 3 sentences. When you do a long, involved text and you're making them scroll, they lose interest in you as a person because they see you as someone who just is self-centered. The third one is you want to make your text lighthearted. You want to be positive. You don't want to be negative. Therefore, you also don't want to get into personal subjects when they're reaching out to you to do something fun. Again, keep it short and sweet. His number 1 issue, but it's number 5, is that we're really looking at sending a text that has 2 objectives: a planning text, a logistics text. That means when you're sending a text message to someone you're attracted and you want to get to know them better, ask them a planning question. Would you like to go and do XYZ? Whatever that response is, then your other text is going to be logistics. Therefore, remember, when you're attracted to someone and you're trying to get their interest in you and get to know them better, you're going to keep your text message short and sweet. You're going to keep it positive. You're going to make it just 2 or 3 sentences so they don't have to scroll, meaning you're not going to tell them all this information about how your day's going. Short, sweet, positive. Remember, planning and logistics are really the 2 objectives. Lastly, what Matt tells us is you want to add value to someone's life. Don't you want them to see that you're an interesting person, that you look at life, your outlook on life is really positive, a can-do attitude, where there's a will, there's a way type of person? That's what Matt's telling us about adding value to someone's life. To talk about Kundalini yoga and how it can add value to your life, this particular podcast really suggests instead of sending your children away to summer camp because perhaps they are feeling anxiety about leaving home. There is a lot of things they had to go through this school year without mentioning what those are, but a lot of children have built up anxiety. Har Prakash, my Kundalini yoga teacher, I studied with her in New York for about 6 years, now virtually when I live in Florida. One of her specialties is teaching yoga to children. I believe that if you're not going to send your children to summer camp, or you believe that it's time for them to learn how to control their emotions, have self-confidence, Kundalini yoga is one of the best tools, and so is Har Prakash with one of her specialties, being able to teach to children. Really cute photo on my podcast details also. I love Har Prakash. She's amazing. Also, in the past, I have mentioned on my podcast, and you'll see it in former episodes, there is a great website called Made in Meditation. Carrie Kopasek also teaches virtually, and the classes are evergreen. You can go online and just see what art classes for children. They're free, just like the YouTube channel for Har Prakash. This is important to get your children, again, to feel self-confidence, lower their anxiety, allow them to experience fun. Art classes are fun. These classes, I see kids giggle all the time with Har Prakash. Great tool and an alternative to sending them off to summer camp. Lastly, wine. Portuguese wines are some of my favorite wines that are out there. When I was in the industry, we had one of the best representatives, Casa Santa Eufemia, one of the oldest producers in Portugal. Now, they pretty much were just producing ports, and the government, strangely enough, only allowed Portuguese companies to make ports. Isn't that crazy? But now, since 1984, all of these port-producing companies can now also do wines. And Casa Santa Eufemia has some of the most beautiful rosés. When I used to have a glass or two every day, the rosés from Lagos are very special. Even the Douro Casa Santa Eufemia have rosés also. Great values. They're not expensive. They're not crazy like some of our American producers, which I think they're getting out of control with their rosés. To wrap this up, texting someone when you're attracted to them and you would like to get to know them better is an art. And Matt talks about this in detail, but really short videos, and they're on my podcast details. Great information. Kundalini Yoga is perfect for kids. So is that Made in Meditation, where they can do an art project and learn how to meditate. Lastly, Portuguese rosés. Seek them out. Text me, email me. I'm on Instagram. Very easy to reach out and ask me for some help. To conclude, I'm Valerie Hail. I create this podcast every week to help people create a blueprint for a life they would love. I also teach online courses, The Fear of Public Speaking, which is specifically addressing how to overcome fear of getting in front of people, even if it's a networking event. Your choice of classes on my podcast details. Merci, au revoir.